Mirage brings him back to the homies, who kind of break down what the problem is. And Optimus is honestly in this movie kind of racist. And I kind of like it.
You're fucking right.
Monkey D. Goofy. D. Goofy. Slobber this bad guy.
Why would they do that, bro?
Bro, because it's getting you ready. Yeah, no!
We are live in this bitch. Couple things. What we doing there? And boom, just like that. We are all gravy, baby. Come on, man. Oh, it feels so good right now. I'm back in this thing. Yes. All right. You know, I said I wasn't going to drink today, but as you can see, we own. What is good, people? It is your boy T-Rav, and I am here right now for the Transformers Rise of the Beast movie review. And now, if you like this content and you like all of the trailers that I bring you as frequently as I can, like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. I'm not sure if this is a full-on reboot of Transformers, but I'm gonna assume that it is, because we're taking place back in the 90s or whatever, and we're following I guess a Hispanic family in Noah Diaz and his little brother, you know what I'm saying? Mom's sweet, single mom or whatever, working hard. Noah is a fuck up, to be quite honest with you. I don't know what to tell you, man. Can't get a job. Was discharged from the army, was apparently a soldier, and however is like the most incompetent former soldier I've ever seen. But we'll get to that. Now, stuff kind of hits the fan when his homie, he knows on the street, wished him good luck on his interview that got canceled immediately because he went to go get a security job, but it didn't work out because the man, Mr. Bishop, canceled that hoe literally before he ever even got there. And then he pulled up and he's like, "You're not a team player. I don't need someone like that. You're not gonna risk what I got. I'm sorry." Walked away. I didn't give a fuck. Okay, you don't know me. Noah Diaz, sir, hello. Is this thing on? All right, come on, man. What's the real world here? The real world. All right, we know what it is. It wasn't because of all that, because if you were of a different complexion and had a different last name, you might have still had a chance to at least get the interview. Man saw you? I ain't gonna lie. It said, yeah, there's no shot. There's no shot. Okay. But, hey, that's fine. We know what it is. The emotions. Why did I say it like that? But the emotional crux of his whole deal is that he's trying to get a job so bad because his little brother has sickle cell. And he's really struggling with it. Certain days he can't even eat using his hand or whatnot and stopping blood flow in certain parts. It's, you know, what comes with the disease. And still hasn't been able to land this job. Goes with his homie to do this heist. God, what an idiot, bro. He is such a fucking dumbass sometimes. Because his boy says, "Oh yeah, these rich people, they won't miss it. Everything's laid out, and you know, they got their little mics and shit, and they're like, yeah, there's this Porsche in this garage. All you gotta do is go boost it, and then we're good. We go sell it, money in the bank, we good. Like, they won't even notice. It's been there for a long time." Sensible plan, right? Pulls up on the Porsche after a bunch of shenanigans to get him inside. I'm not gonna lie, the music, the one song that he played, his friend was funny as fuck. He's like, "Okay, breathing exercises. Okay, you gotta." Like, what are you talking about, dog? Like, stop talking. And then he put on some Tom and Jerry fucking music while his nigga's making it to this place. But he actually gets in. That's crazy. And gets to the car. And he's talking him through it the whole time. He's like, "Okay, just gotta remember what we taught you. Now, stick the Jimmy in, turn it to the left, little wiggle, we can feel the dug in your boo. And he got it. Goes to open the car door, the car locks itself. This happens like 5 times. And he does still manage to get in. And then he doesn't know what's going on. Because Optimus Prime is on the motherfucking radio. Autobots, get your ass over here. We got a problem. That's basically what he said. Because there's some freaking boom tube portal that's opened up to the heavens. All right, that only the Autobots can see. Humans can't see it. So that makes sense. Because I was like, bro, if niggas saw the shit in the sky, why the fuck is there nobody saying nothing? But humans can't see it, right? Everybody else does. Now, the reason why this portal is opened up is because, oh my God, Unicron is coming, okay? And he went and took out this planet with the beasts on it. And I guess it's their home planet. And, you know, the gorilla that we see in the trailers, whose name is Optimus Primal, badass. Come on now. You got to admit that's pretty fucking badass. He literally says later in the movie that he was named after him, the legendary warrior of Cybertron. Because yes, Optimus is in this movie. Of course, we all know. All right. They pull up on the Beast planet. Send some goons out there. The Beasts are formidable. Taking niggas out. You got Michelle Yeoh, who's voicing Air Razor. You got Optimus Primal, who's the gorilla. You have the cheetah, and then you have the rhino. Okay, and Primal also had an older brother. Now I forget what his name is. Apologies, but he was a real nigga, and he was actually way bigger than Primal was. So that makes me think that he was mega formidable. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And you want to know why? Because Scourge is in the building. Bro, Peter Dinklage. What? When I looked that up to see who voiced him, I was like blown away, dog. There is no way that was freaking Game of Thrones Peter Dinklage. But this nigga was menacing this all hell. He pulled up and he's like, your struggle is useless. I love to see the look on their face when they see what real power is. Like, what are you talking about? And you knew. When homie pulled up to fight Scourge, it was not a fight. It was a massacre. Bro, he blew that nigga apart. And I'm not gonna lie, the way Scourge was just sulking around in the motherfucking forest before he pulled it, that shit was hard as fuck, nigga. Come on, man. Come on. This shit's crazy, bro. But the energy was real. And the reason why they were pulling up is for this trans-dimensional warp key to which you can transport a nigga across the universe. Because the beasts, apparently, the Maximals is what they're called, which is pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. It's not the mammals, it's the Maximals. Their job is to promote life and peace across the universe. So they go to young planets and they just help out, I guess, and that's what they do. It is pretty cool, I must say, in this movie. Like I said, we don't know if it's a full reboot or not, but still, they know that we have all this knowledge of the other movies, right? So I'm sure they're playing off that a little bit, if it is a real reboot. If it's a prequel, we're just gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna say it's a reboot for the rest of this video, okay? That's the context I'm looking at it in, and I'll address if it's prequel at the end. So they're going after this key. Big Brother sends Primal off with the other homies off to Earth to get away from Unicron, because Unicron feeds on planets. And I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Unicron is just unfathomable Like, how do you fight something like that? That's what I want to know. Does it actually have a form, bro? Because when it pulled up after Scourge whooped this nigga's ass, blew him apart, Primal escapes with the homies, Scourge is like, God damn it. But Unicorn's like, I'm fucking hungry. Planet gone. Homie just pulls up and he's like as big as the planet. It's like a Death Star that just starts fucking destroying the planet and eating it. That's like, let's say that we do go on with the Transformers series. What the fuck do you like? There has to be like a form that he takes that's like a normal size, right? Otherwise, it's like you're just, you know. Let me continue. So the beasts apparently have been here a really, really long time. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. While the Autobots have been here for 7 years, stranded. Apparently this was supposed to be a pit stop for them, but they got stranded. And once they saw that key go up in the sky, they're like, oh shit, like we have a shot at getting back home to Cybertron, get back in this war. And that's big for them, bro, because he's the legendary warrior and all his niggas and his crew is stranded on some little place that they weren't even supposed to keep, like they weren't even supposed to be at more than a minute. And there's this war going on, who knows what's happened over there. Megatron probably fucking niggas up. That's something that that's the only thing that, and I don't know Transformers like that, but where were the Decepticons, bro? We have Scourge and his niggas that's called Terracons, which is pretty cool. You got the Maximals, you got the Autobots, but there's no Decepticons in this world right now. I don't know. I just find that a little bit hard to believe, but I continue. So back to Noah Diaz. That kind of, all that stuff kind of happened before Noah Diaz has gotten in this nonsense, but you know, he's gotten into Mirage, basically, is what has happened. They start driving off. It's crazy. It's funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And he's talking over the line to his homie, and he's like, all right, just do your breathing exercises. Like, yeah, you do your thing. And then when the cops really got on their ass, this nigga's like, that nigga thinks his ass so hard. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. What would you do, bro? They're not after you. They're after him, okay? And he's wilding out right now. But I love the showcase of Mirage's powers, the way that they did it, and the way that this nigga just like, he's like, do something. He did the Mirage thing, and that's what eventually got him off of him. But the coolest move that he did, probably in this movie, is he was driving backwards. And then all of a sudden, he just reformed around Noah Diaz. And then he's driving forwards again. That shit is just so cool. The CGI and stuff in Transformers is always top notch to me, like I said. And I always say this, I'm not no CGI expert, but it always looks really cool. And they do actually take more liberties this time in this movie to showcase just how, like, you get to see it in full view a lot of the time of like how their transformation is. When they're not trying to be super epic and they're just doing like quick transformations, like you get to see it in total, and you get to see Mirage later like transform into his form, and you get to see it all, and it's great. It's not like taking up the whole screen where you can't really, it's just a lot of cool shit going on. That's something that I personally always kind of had a little problem with the old Transformers movies, is because like it's hard to tell what the hell's going on. There's so much over the whole screen, you can't really pay attention. But so Mirage brings him back to the homies, who kind of break down what the problem is. And Optimus is honestly in this movie kind of racist. And I kind of like it. It's not that he's racist, okay? It's just that he understands that the humans are here and this is their planet and they're out for themselves. Completely and utterly true. Like, it's so logical of thinking. And I'm so tired of the disrespect that niggas kept on putting on Optimus during this movie. Everyone keep talking about, he lost so much. he lost so much. Oh, he feels so responsible. Like, he knows all that. We know all that, nigga. It's Optimus motherfucking Prime, okay? Stop disrespecting this nigga like he ain't that man. Bro, it just gets me hot, bro. I'm sweating already. And yes, I'm sure you've noticed at this point, I have the bonnet on and I don't care because rest in peace to the Prime do-rag. It couldn't keep up with me, okay? It took me through a lot of years, but now it's time. So, Mirage somehow really befriends dude, played by Pete Davidson, and I must say, I'm not a Pete Davidson guy. I don't like him very much. Now, full disclosure, people. Is part of this because he was voted the sexiest man alive a few years ago? Yes. However, I just don't think he's that great. However, he did great in this movie. He showed out. I mean, he was kind of the main character. It was nice, in a way, to not have Bumblebee be the main character. Because Pete Davidson, like, he showed up. He showed up to play. You know what I'm saying? So, I really like that. To actually put the spotlight on other people more in this movie than they have in other ones, where we know who the fan favorites are, and that's Optimus, and that's Bumblebee. And they do get their shine in this movie. Don't get me wrong. They get their moments, and that shit is fucking crazy. But Mirage shows out basically throughout the whole movie. That's what I'm trying to get across. So they're convinced, I guess, of the plan, reluctantly, to let Noah go and try and steal this key from the museum, which some oh God, I'm so, hold on, I can't. Pause. Elena. That's her name. Elena is an intern at a museum, right? And her boss is a bitch, and she takes all the credit for all her work. But she's a prodigy, you know what I'm saying? Young black woman, respect that. I do kind of like the fact that the main cast, in terms of humans, is all minorities. It's all minorities. That's pretty great. I didn't expect that. We carry on. Because that's normal. That's not something we should be like, oh, that's crazy. But sadly, I had to at least point that out. So Elena's an intern at a museum. They come across all this stuff. She starts pointing, like, the police have come to them and they're like, we need to know which of this stuff is fake because they busted some black market auction. And she's like, yeah, that one's real, that one's not, that one's a copy, this one's that. But what is that? And it's like this bird that's got the Maximal crest on it. Now, most likely modeled after Air Razor. It shows that these niggas have been here for a minute, okay? And it's found in a part of the world where they don't understand why the writing is the way it is on it, but their experts have a completely wrong idea of when it came about. That shows that niggas don't know what the fuck they talking about, which I like the fact that she knew her facts and was able to, like, okay, this is really like Mayan or Incan, so there's no reason why this should have been in this part of the world. Her boss takes all the credit for her work, but it has her attention. Turns out she wasn't gonna let it go, and later on she breaks into the lab part of the area because I guess she's an intern and not allowed to be in there. And she starts doing analysis on this bird. It all crumbles away, and there's the warp key. Noah Diaz breaks in at the same time to steal it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't know why we have to force the comedy sometimes. I really don't. The whole scene of him trying to chase the girl to get the thing, like, bro, were you a former soldier or not? Like, bro, she don't know what the fuck is going on. And I honestly don't understand why it's so implausible when the man tells you that it's giant robots from space that's coming to get this thing back. When you're holding something that is not technology of this world, and maybe some of you think differently, but if you saw this thing, you would know it's not from here. The government is not making that. That's like looking at some shit from Krypton and saying, oh yeah, that niggas in Area 51 probably made that. No. And why does it take him so long to try and get her? And then, oh, you can have it when the fucking Scourge and his niggas pull up. And this is the first battle. They get fucking whooped. God, I hate the fact that I just don't remember the names, bro. I don't remember the names. I really... RC? I don't know. Fuck. But I must say my favorite Transformer is the Ducati girl. I know she's not strong. She's not strong. I'm not gonna lie, she's not strong. And I hate the fact that she's my favorite, really, because there's such more badass niggas like Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. We have to take those off the board, people. Who do y'all think was the coolest Transformer if you did go end up seeing this movie? Me, I have a few favorites, but on the Autobot side, if I'm picking a sleeper one for me, it is the Ducati girl. The acrobatics are so clean, and the way she just be sliding around. And she was really the one that was most on point, calling out shit that was going on, like a pivotal part of the team. Scourge starts walking niggas down, and his niggas look nigh invincible. And Nightbird, hello. A menace. This bitch was crazy. Talking that shit. Oh, like she started talking like an anime character when they first pulled up. That shit was funny as hell. Oh my god. And they're like, I was whooping for more of a challenge. Like, what are you talking about? But all of them fucking beat our ass. I ain't gonna lie. They beat our ass. Took the key. Bumblebee gets fucking killed by Scourge. Thank you, Optimus, because when you went toe to toe, I'm not gonna lie to you people, I don't know if this is just an effect of me having seen the other movies, but something comes to my mind, right? It's Optimus fighting like a bunch of dinosaurs all at the same time, and then he's also fighting the Megatron. Like, and he fucking obliterated these niggas. Yes, he was on the back foot a lot of it, but he was dealing death blows every single time. And I will say, he looks more slim in this one to me. I don't know if that's just me, but in the older ones, it seemed like he was a little bit more robust. I don't know if that's just, but it doesn't matter, bro. It's Optimus Prime. And Scourge just whips his ass, bro. He whoops his ass, and he doesn't even finish him. He just kills Bumblebee in front of his face. And Bumblebee really would have had a good shot at the nigga that he was going after, and I think Bumblebee would have killed him. But Scourge just comes out of nowhere and like, whoa! Yeah, that shit was hard as fuck. And the shit talk by Scourge was just on point, bro. It was giving me Starscream and Megatron vibes. I ain't gonna lie, man. Cause niggas forget, but Starscream was fucking a problem, okay? Hey. I'm not gonna lie. You take the key. But what we find out is that Scourge doesn't have to go anywhere to contact Unicron. Apparently Unicron has infected these niggas that work for him. Because I assume he kind of created them. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he just gave them more power, and that's how he like has control over their souls, basically. But this nigga goes in a back alley with the homies behind him, and then all of a sudden the environment changes around him and he's in front of Unicron. He's like, what the fuck? I'm hungry, nigga. And then he's like, I have the key, master. Whoop! Starts choking that nigga out. Starts choking him out. And I don't know how he was doing it. He just started fucking choking him out. And there's blood coming out of Scourge. This menacing ass nigga that just walked everybody down is getting choked out like some bitch. That's Unicron. And Scourge keeps referencing that throughout the movie. That this is a higher power. This is a god. And people refer to him as a angry, vengeful god that feeds on planets. What is the purpose of Unicron, bro? Why is he like this? This is what I need to know. This is what I need to know. I might have to hop into some of them fucking animated cartoons and shit and all that, man. Because I gotta know more about this dude. But regardless, they find out that due to Unicron that the key was split. And then Airraiser fills them in later that the key was split as well, so they still have a chance. They gotta go to Peru. This is where they meet the Beast. And the standoff between the Maximals and the Autobots was epic, I'm not gonna lie. Noah continuing to be incompetent throughout this whole stretch. It's like, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Your little brother and Elena have more nuts than you, man. And that's for a former soldier. Oh, it makes me so sick, bro, because, you know, before Noah goes back to his little brother, very emotional, heartfelt scene, and he's like, you know, I gotta go for a little bit. And then Mirage reveals himself because he's a dumbass and doesn't realize he's a fucking big ass Autobot that you can't stand on the car without shit breaking, and then his alarms start going off and all this. And then obviously the little brother goes outside and was like, hey, I see you, you're a robot. And he had turned back into the car trying to hide, and he throws a can on top of him, and then he transforms in front of him. And it's like, scratch my pain, dog. Hell wrong with you. Like I said, Pete Davidson's commentary throughout this has been great. And then Noah kind of breaks down like, all right, I gotta go. We gotta go kind of save the world or whatever. Chances are we might not be able to do it, so I gotta go. And the kid's like, all right, I'm gonna go get my bag. I've been ready for this shit. Like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna lie, I like the kid. I like the kid. Terrible child actor, but I like the personality of the kid. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you ready to go? He's like, no, you can't go. It's too dangerous. And the kid is smart enough to figure out, he's like, oh, you're only saying all this because you don't know if you're gonna come back. And you need someone to be here with mom. I'm not gonna lie, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Because that is like the duty of the big brother. You go out for the family when it's a single mom in a situation and you haven't been doing shit. You haven't been providing anything, and it's all you can do to try and help your little brother. Y'all have an overdue balance at the hospital and they don't even want to treat you. So you need to, right now, it's really about just saving the planet. And the kid presses fucking Mirage talking about, hey, if you better protect my brother and watch his back, otherwise I'm on your ass and I'm coming for you first. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I ain't gonna lie, Pete Davis was like, oh, whoa. Kid's got moxie. He got heart. I like that. Yeah, I like that, man. Cause it's real, bro. And it's their whole little thing is like, cause Noah's kept encouraging him probably throughout his life and the time he's had this disease that like, we're in this together, bro. You have to tell me when these little things start happening to you. Don't keep that from me because like, we're in this together. You don't have to fight this alone. You don't have to fight it alone. And he's like, their little thing is home team. Home team. Yeah. And you know, Noah's still trying to play it off like him and Mirage are not friends at this point. Like, stop it, bro. Y'all friends. They go to Peru. Have to infiltrate this festival. Scourge and all them niggas is there too. All that. They go into this underground temple due to Elena's ingenuity and smarts. And honestly, if they didn't have her, there would have been no shot that they would have found this shit. And honestly, if they didn't, this is what's crazy. If they would have never went to look, the Terracons would have never been able to find it. And the reason why is because they break into this underground temple. The key is gone. But there's another clue. What could it be? They leave, pull up in the forest. Boom, Maximal, show up. Yeah. They explain that, well, first off, they have a little standoff. And that's when Optimus started. Who the fuck? Nigga? Don't. Hey, I like how the gorilla he pulled up. Yeah, we like that Mighty Joe Young, bitch. Okay, fuck wrong with y'all. Mirage was like, hey, now, don't do that, don't do that. But bro, you wasn't gonna win that fight. Optimus pulls up with them niggas and all of them have a Mexican standoff. That shit was hard as fuck, nigga. He said, put it down. I ain't gonna ask you again, motherfucker. Oh, that shit was hell no. That shit was hard, boy. Obviously, Primal knows who Optimus is. They explain the whole shit that's going on, and they give you that backstory I said about like what planet they came from, what their purpose is, all that. Turns out they've been partnering with humans for all these years, and it's crazy how Primal's the one that actually gives Optimus the knowledge that like there's more to these humans than what meets the eye. He's been partnering with them this whole time because they met this little tribe and they lead them to him and they show him. And it's like probably like 10, 15 people, like an Aztec or Mayan tribe. And bro, they don't have anything but, bro, they just treat these niggas like family. And when they came, they was like, oh, doing all this stuff. But apparently they've been protecting them for hundreds and hundreds of years. When they first touched down, they showed them their world. That's like, and now in fairness, they probably was like, we gotta, you know, these are gods, so we gotta help them out. Otherwise, they're gonna snap us up. But it turned into a genuine friendship over hundreds and hundreds of years. But Optimus ain't going for none of that shit. He's not. And then, I'm not gonna lie, the cliffside chase scene when Scourge tracks these niggas down, finds the key, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. Because they're having this all knockdown, drag out fight, and they have nothing for them, bro. They have nothing for Scourge and his dudes. So they handled the problem pretty quickly, to be honest. But I will say that was probably the best fight chase scene that was going on. You got to see the Ducati flexing. There's a Volkswagen, and you know, my man knows a little racist because why you commenting on his accent, bro? Yes, he's Mexican, but it's a little racist, hermano. That was probably the funniest scene that Noah had in this whole movie, I ain't gonna lie. They was forcing that shit a lot for him anyway. It was really only Pete Davidson, I would say, that carried the comedy in this movie. But regardless, you know, the boys and all that kind of get away, but they infect Air Razor, who in time inadvertently leads Scourge and his gang, pull up on him. Wash them again, take the key. And I'm not gonna lie, this is where this movie kind of like, it definitely turns up, but it was kind of losing me, I ain't gonna lie, because it's like, all right, there's this big war going on, they've got the fucking key, they put that shit together, open the fucking portal, Unicron's about to pull up, you got all these goddamn minions of Unicron coming out of nowhere, out of absolutely nowhere, and this structure terraforms itself in order to, I guess, receive the port. I don't know, man. It's just a lot of things just started happening, and I was really a little confused, but hey, it's fine. Noah continues to show his incompetence by really just putting himself and Mirage in danger, and then eventually Mirage has to essentially sacrifice himself to protect Noah because he couldn't do one fucking job and run down the fucking tunnel, nigga. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? You're a fucking soldier. How the fuck does Elena have more presence of mind than you, nigga? Okay, and don't let me get on that shit back at the fucking underground temple. When the fucking dog started coming after your ass from Scourge, you thought that Mirage gave you a glorified flashlight? Is that what you think was just what happened? No, that's not what happened. He gave you something to fucking blast them. It's hot as fuck right now in here, people, okay? But, okay. Mirage sacrifices himself. Heartfelt scene. Brother pops over on the thing. Because apparently him and Mirage have been talking this whole time because he called him Sonic earlier. He was like, why'd you call me that? He was like, well, your brother like gave me this radio and it's like making me keep talking to him just to make sure I fulfill my promise to keep you safe. And that's why he ends up sacrificing himself. So in the that's what the fucking thing is in this movie, bro. And I don't know if it's just me, but Noah's a cop, it just fucking hurts me, bro. Because, man, there's a difference between characters making stupid decisions and then all of a sudden, like, that's not possible anymore. All of a sudden, they're super competent. Because Noah just takes it up a whole nother level later in the movie and I don't fucking understand it. His little brother has to give him a pep talk because he starts deciding, I can't do it. I'm not like you. I'm not gonna lie, there have not been a lot of moments in movies, especially this year. This movie triggered me harder than any movie I've been in this year. Okay, I ain't gonna lie to you. But somehow you grab your nuts. Somehow you grab your nuts because Mirage didn't actually die. He got a lot of parts blown off him. He's like, I'm gonna have you take the wheel. He forms into a fucking Iron Man suit. I don't know. Mirage wasn't the biggest in the first place, bro. Like, what are we doing? Is this nigga alive or not? I don't understand. And he starts going toe to toe with Scourge. I am so glad that they did not believe that I was gonna go for that shit if they would have kept that up. Because, like, you know, Optimus pulls up and starts doing work. And then he starts fucking busting Scourge's ass. And this is where I have a problem with the inconsistency in this movie. I don't care that you have called Optimus Prime essentially washed up. That's basically what was reinforced throughout the movie. Everybody's saying, like, you're not ready for this fight. Oh, you can't do this. You did. Blah, 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 blah. Ain't nobody give a fuck. It's Optimus Prime. So maybe it's just me, but I have the proper respect for Optimus Prime, where I believe when he got fucking walked down by Scourge multiple times, yeah, you put up a little bit more of a fight the second time, but it really didn't matter. Because you still had nothing for him. Now, all of a sudden, you just fucking put the brakes on this nigga. You beat the beat off that motherfucker. And you ain't gonna scratch his paint job, because he's rusted out, which I'm not gonna lie. I love that design of Scourge. That the fact that everybody got all this fancy, all that, no. My nigga, I'm fucked up. I'm Scourge. I'm fucking rusted out. That shit rusty, baby. It was hard. How do we go from that to that? It's like, bro, like, if you're telling me that Optimus was in his feelings that much, to where he just really couldn't fight no more? I'm sorry, this is the little things that was taking me out of this movie, and it's maybe if this was the first Transformer movie ever, cool, would have no problem with it. But when you don't really answer whether this is a prequel or a reboot, because this is taking 20 years before, and there's low-key little references where we don't know if like stuff is like it's all the same. It's a lot of the similar characters, man. It's just it gets confused. Shout out to the Maximals putting in work down there, bro. And Primal is a fucking beast. No pun intended, but this nigga is the real deal. And I don't know if it was him or the Rhino that had the fucking hammer, but that shit was hard as fuck. That was the coolest weapon I saw. Now, my favorite Maximal was the freaking cheetah, bro, because I didn't realize that these niggas had a regular form, like a battle form. So their car forms is the animals, but these niggas can transform into some fucking real deal niggas too. And the cheetah started doing the acrobatic shit too, and that's what I like, because the cheetah was doing the same level of acrobatic shit as the Ducati. And speaking of which, you knew they were gonna give him his moment, and I hate it had to be against my favorite Terracon, which was Nightbird. Wow. When, like, you know, shit was going on, crazy shit, boom tube opens up to the sky. It created some type of explosion, and Bumblebee's laid out like Jesus Christ on a fucking tablet out there in the woods. And shout out to Stratosphere, the big bucket that got us over here. I don't know how y'all got us over here, but it fucking fixed him up too. But all of a sudden you see him in the sky, and then Bumblebee, the fucking door opens up, and then you hear the fucking radio come on. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. That shit was fucking hard, nigga. Oh, shit. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the best scene in the movie. This nigga flies out the fucking plane. Fuck it. Nightwing comes out. Oh, it's you again. Fly straight to his ass. Oh, they scrapping. Oh, no, bitch. Rip your fucking wig off. Slam a gem in that motherfucker. Explosion. And then nigga comes flying out like a fucking unit. Woo! That shit was fucking hard, boy. And then this nigga starts doing the acrobats too. I'm not gonna lie, maybe it's just me, but to see some big 20-foot ass robots do these fucking cartwheel spins and flips and shit, that shit is hard as fuck. Okay, we love Optimus. Optimus can't do that shit. Okay, this is like if Kaido, if Optimus could do that shit, that nigga's like, no, that's too much. That would be too much. That would be like, that's like Kaido in One Piece. That nigga shouldn't be able to do the acrobats he can, but he can. Okay, that's how the cheetah was. That's how Bumblebee was. I'm getting worked up here. Okay. Let me calm down. As I said, Optimus just fucking starts destroying Scourge. Breaks the fucking key. Tries to sacrifice himself because it's going to suck everything back with him. And little old Noah shows up and holds Optimus Prime and stops him from getting taken by the gravity. And that's the. So I think you're starting to understand the theme here, people. I think you're starting to understand the theme here. I'll get to it. Using all his might, trying to pull him back, getting the boosters going, not getting very far, but holding him. Primal pulls up, grabs him. They dip off. Threat averted. Unicron can't come here because like Unicron was never actually here. He was just trying to get through the portal, and then he could go to any fucking planet that he wanted. But you know, Prime made a real nigga decision. He decided, I'm gonna go ahead and destroy the key and our chance to get back home, because I shouldn't have been going hard like this trying to prevent these niggas from saving their own home. Okay, it's like, it's no sense, and you know, taking out 2 planets when you don't even have like the guarantee that you're saving your own. And like, even Noah didn't blame him for it, but Noah also tried to destroy the key earlier in the movie, and Prime was about to fucking light him up. But Prime got it. Like, they started to understand each other. Like, they were just protecting their home. So, you know, in terms of character stuff, I guess it's good. That kind of dichotomy to come from 2 different places but be in the exact same position. I do like that type of character writing. However, like I said, man, it's just Noah's fucking shenanigans and antics and the fucking seemingly plot armor stuff that just happens in this movie. I just don't understand, bro. Like, and it's not the plot armor due to just good planning and stuff. It's just incompetence that leads to it, bro. And that's like, that frustrates me to no end. Because at least in Fast 10 or something like that, like, it's not really the character's fault. You understand it. You understand why it's happening. They're not fucking up really to make these things happen. They're just making decisions that lead to it. For this nigga, he's just a fucking dumbass. And the fact that he can all of a sudden lock in with, and I know he had Mirage as hell because he's in a pseudo Iron Man suit, but all of a sudden, like, he can't even barely, and then all of a sudden he just starts taking off and really moving like fucking Mega Man out here. I don't know. That shit got on my fucking nerves. I'm not gonna lie to you. Threat averted. Prime gives a speech. Classic speech. Love it. They're here protecting the planet. Like I said, still don't know if this is a reboot or not. Questionable. Come to the end credit scene. Noah's going for a job interview. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty good. Things are looking up. Looks like it's in this food warehouse district place or whatever, so that's cool. Meets with homeboy. And I always forget this actor's name. Just go ahead and put him up on the screen, please. God, I hate that I do that. I love this guy, though. Whenever he's in something, you know some shit's going on. So as soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, shit. What the fuck is this? There's no way that this nigga runs this place. There's no way they brought him in just for this. And he's like, oh, can you tell me about yourself? What's your strengths? And he's like, I've been trying to work on my team. He's giving him fucking bullshit answers. Bullshit answers. And he's like, yeah, your resume's a little thin. What have you been doing lately? He was like, well, I did have a job, but it was international, and it was like a contract. Like, so what did you do? He's like, well, you know, it was just work, man. He was like, well, and he was like, well, it was in South America and stuff like that, so I couldn't really touch on. He was like, oh, okay, well, that's pretty cool. You get to practice your Spanish and stuff. You know, I bet Peru was pretty fun. He was like, wait, what are you talking about? I didn't mention Peru. He was like, well, that's where you were, right? I mean, we know a little bit more than you might think. He's like, who are you people? And he's like, well, we're a secret government organization that is strictly off the books, of course. Protects the planet from terrestrial and extraterrestrial threats. And he's like, you know, we'd really like you to come join the fight. Job offer, great. I don't know why I know how to think about this shit. He didn't really give an answer, but we know the answer. And he's like, yeah. If you want to come see some shit, just come on then. And they're in some like wooden, like 70s boardroom, and this nigga walks behind him after he gives him the card and fucking pulls a plaque off to the side, opens up a warehouse in the back like this is a shield, and on the fucking card is G.I. Joe! What the fuck? I'm not gonna lie to you people, I didn't know where I was. Okay? I don't. What? G.I. Joe? Are you kidding me? Where the fuck am I at? Where am I? What, we gonna have Snake Eyes riding Optimus Prime next time? What is going on? What is going on? Is this a crossover? Is it just happening in the same universe and we're not really gonna like, but why include that? I'm so confused. So confused. It was hype as fuck. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, people. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really didn't. So, in totality, if I was to give this movie a rating, I'll be fair, because it did get me hyped for moments, like the Bumblebee scenes when Primal had to go take out Air Razor. That was heartfelt, bro, and it's just Michelle Yeoh, you know what I'm saying? I love Michelle Yeoh. But the way she was tripping out was really cool, but that nigga was like, at any price. Like, so it showed Prime exactly what he was willing to give up and do for the sake of the mission. So I really like that. But I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10, man. At first, I thought I was gonna give it a 6. Like I said, I'll give credit. The movie got me hyper at moments than a 6 probably can do. All right, that's probably where I sit with it, because maybe, like, you know, and for me in stories, main characters matter a lot, but it's not the end all be all. But just the way that this main character, like, showed the competence that I was kind of expecting in the, like, at the end, when he could have really been doing something like that throughout. I don't know, bro. Like, I just don't remember Marky Mark or Shia LaBeouf being that much of a bitch. And Wiki had nothing, bro. Wiki was like a scrub. He wasn't no ex-soldier. So, you know, that it's like moments in the movie just took me out. It just took me out due to things like that, or the plot convenience that, like, kind of kept happening. And then the complete switch around where they built these niggas up like they were damn nigh invincible, and there was no actual upgrades or anything in particular that took the Autobots over the top, but all of a sudden they just started washing them. And I just don't really understand how we get there. How do we get there? Right? Like, that, I don't know. Prime, okay. I'm not gonna say that's a flaw in the movie, because maybe that's just my personal bias and expectation backfiring on me. So maybe he really was, like, not really himself, and then he locked in and was the Optimus Prime that I know, right? Because I feel like the Optimus Prime I know is not losing to Scourge once. Even if he's not 100%, even if he's getting jumped. I mean, maybe that's just, oh, shit. But Elena was nice. I liked her character in terms of the fact that, like, a lot of inspiration came from her father, and it's like, the reason why she's going along with this all so willingly is because, like, she viewed her father as the smartest man that she knew. And he didn't go to college or anything, but he knew everything about everything. And he said the reason why he was like that is if you keep your eyes and your ears open and seize opportunities, then you'll have a wonderful life, basically. That's some wisdom, bro. If I wish I could live my life that way. I would love to strive to get to that point. But the fact that Noah has that complete switch is like, and it really happens like in the last 20 minutes of the movie, when he's shown no steps to really, like, get to that point. I don't know. It just didn't really land for me. The CGI was great, bro. The CGI was great. The war scene was legit, bro. The way they showcased all the different powers, and like I said, showing the transformations in full quickly was really cool to see more often, as I feel like we didn't get as much of that back in the day. A lot of people just flexing and showing their skill sets, bro, and I like that a lot. I think for a reboot, this accomplished its purpose. So that's why I give it a 6.5. If I was coming into this never ever seen Transformers, I would think that this is a really good movie. I would. For me, it's just like an average to slightly above average movie. Okay. Will have replay value. I will say that. This will probably have more replay value than a lot of movies, because a lot of stuff did happen. Like I said, I was worried about the Beast being more formidable than them dinosaurs, but to me, they was more formidable. So, I answered that question. No problem. Legitimate threat. Scourge was coming out hard the whole movie. Like I said, I just have a problem with the way he went out, because like he had shown no reason why he could lose that convincingly, bro. Like, he was talking shit to everybody, and he had literal patches. Like, he peeled off Bumblebee's Autobot patch off the top of his fucking dome and welded that bitch onto him, and he had done the same to Maximal's brother, and he had those all down his arm, so you could see he's been doing that to hella Transformer tribes, basically, and their best warriors, and talking shit the whole time, talking about, I love to look and see the look of despair in your face when you find out that you've come against a powerful god. Like, you're an inferior life form. Whoa. So to go out like he did, I did not like that. The fucking plot twist at the very end was crazy. And yes, Mr. Government Man, I would hope that y'all would pay for Noah's little brother's medical bills. My nigga, his family should never have to work again, as long as he comes and joins G.I. Joe. Fucking nuts. But that's gonna do it for the review. What did y'all think about Transformers Rise of the Beast? Did you like it? Did you think that it's a reboot, or did you think that it's a prequel? Because if this was a prequel, I'll say that for another video. Like, comment, subscribe. It's been your boy T-Rav, and I'm out. Yeah.